Well, I think we just found out some of these players are not going to live long if they actually have to survive.
Walk into the sun.
Walk into the sun, Timmy? Walk into the sun?
As a ginger person, that's literally my worst nightmare.
Like...
I'd die before getting 5 feet towards it, to be fair. But...
Oh, you always follow the river, man. You always just follow the river. Every major city is by a river. New York, London, Paris. But it's not, is it? No, there is a river. Yeah, you know, there is a river through it. Every major city always got a river.
I suppose. London.
Yeah, no, I've already said that one.
I didn't hear you. Yeah. Anyway,
Wakefield, Leeds.
We've got a river.
Yeah.
It's full of trash.
It's not the sort of river you want to go in, that's for sure.
It's...
we got a big one in Cologne. It's called the Rhine. It kind of goes through most of Europe. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Obviously, you go for the water supply. But anyway,
I think ubah
survivability aside,
went for the juggler, to be honest with you, because that was disgusting.
That was insane.
I think you were right in where you were saying, and a really good pivot off the back of it.
Yeah.
You can't underestimate what Aitzy was doing and how much time he actually bought for that scenario.
He said in the interview, and you could tell it was while he was shooting, he wasn't really fully aiming the shot. It was just popping up, shoot. I'm over here. Look over here. Look over here.
Yeah.
Look over. It's like when you're woo, trying to distract, and Ubah's like sneaking in.
It was there for a reason to stop them advancing up the hillside, and I think even mxey mentioned it on the desk. It was probably more of a surprise that they didn't push it as a 2 or 3 man.
Yeah.
And maybe left it a little bit too much longer. You potentially could have got a refrag out of it. So I was expecting the 3-man push up and over the hill, but they left it a tad too late, and well, ubah just slapped him, to be fair.
Yeah.
There's no nicer way of putting it. The man is
you can't
beast.
underestimate the shot that ubah landed on Rustanmar, because if he hadn't have got that shot, and maybe even still dealt with SKUIJKE, he would have had an open run. There was no more smokes left. He would have had an open run down the field to Rustanmar, who was more central. He was almost at the crate.
I wonder how much damage, and it actually CrowCrowd are watching the other side of it in the split screen. I wonder how much damage Aitzy actually pipped off on him before he went down.
Onto Rustanmar?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were watching obviously ubah's position, weren't we?
Yeah.
Just before Aitzy went down. But
it was a good duo. It was a very well executed. So credit where credit's due, to be fair.
Yeah, and ironically, you know, while all that happened, we completely missed talking about the fact that DESPERADO's had that cracking fight with the 2 teams, N47 and 7 early on. We're back to Miramar, and we'll see exactly where we go for game number 12. We're getting there. 96 to go. This is the final Miramar of the day, final Miramar of the weekend. We're moving on to Sanhok and then on to Erangel. And we'll see where the circles will go as we move into match 11. Damn it. It's 12. It is 12. I was right. I was wrong. Graphic was wrong. Whew. I was like, hang on a minute. I had to second guess myself. And luckily, we've got a second screen where we can see to number 12 there. So let's see. This is a playing path. Looks like it's going fairly south, this one. Just caught a glimpse. It is. Oh, that's not a good plane. That is not a good plane.
Exceptionally rough. So the players that do have a backup plan for the southern edges will be more than happy. The problem is that I'd expect to see more than one team readjusting here, which then really does become a problem. We kind of saw it game 1 where you saw 3 teams kind of crunching around Kumasera. That won't necessarily be the complete story here, because Impala's within reach, and so is Puerto Paraiso. So the teams that do like to go down there, or generally go down there, will be happy for now. Unless they get vehicles and just completely hold W and bomb it out of where they are, I'd expect with when you... Yeah, there we go. So it's kind of followed up on what I was saying. When you see 4 players all together like that, not moving forward, they're clearly just getting down on the ground. Put your boots on the ground. You've seen a vehicle. You've spotted it. And that's exactly what CrowCrowd were. They won't split in. They won't go anywhere. It's, right, vehicle boys, we're down here. We're slightly out of position. Let's go. And now they'll end up probably in Pozo.
Yep.
Do the usual thing. Where else is a little bit crowded, though? You could say down south. I suppose it all depends on the circle. And there is quite a lot of water. It's a little bit forgiving in the fact that the playing path was over here. But it's still a hell of a lot of water to be playing with, and really limits the amount of space that teams have.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see with heat maps working if they are. We obviously had the information come out, which has now been made public. Obviously, we know that Los Leones and around to the east of it
Yeah, that's the only deficit to doing this. Of course, you're in a nice home territory for now, but you've got to get a wriggle on. Circles a little bit too... it's going to be rough on this transition, mainly because of where the water is. It's smack bang opposite their position. If you take a coastal road, you've got 3 teams that are going to be lingering in the midst. You can't really go to the north because you know that G2 will be along there, same with ENCE, DESPERADOs. I'm not sure. I'm intrigued to see what they do if they reposition and go further afield from where they are. It's a hop, skip and a jump to SIMSY's location, which it'll be on the coastline, so once this circle does move away from water, depends how much... That's kind of what you're banking on. For SIMSY's position to be central, you need the circle to either keep coming this way and pulling for the first 3.
Come on!
Or it just needs to kind of stay central.
T-Bone would look like he'd been very unlucky in his looting there. 4 minutes in, he hasn't got a helmet yet.
He's got big arms, so it doesn't matter in real life.
That's how it works.
It's like the new tweeder. It's like the English tweeder.
Yeah. Who's just paid us a visit here in Berlin.
It's always happy as Kevin, isn't it? It's a great ambassador for the scene as well. I'm a big fan.
He's fantastic. Known him for quite a good few years. Oh, that's not good for Buster.
Got it stuck.
Yeah, he got wedged on the rock. Yeah, that's it. Just make sure you can't get anything from it. Is he going to just silhouette over? Looks like he's okay. He's okay. There he's gone. He's gone. But the rest of his team will get picked up. Krabik's just pulled up for him. So Reciprocity on the move. So as we mentioned him, this is going to be a bit of a weird one because of A, the southern plane path, and B, some of the teams going north. We're going to see all the teams that were kind of happy to drop and loot moving in now around the 4 or 5 minute mark, which is standard, the Team Liquids, Reciprocities, etc. Meanwhile, what they've got here, CrowCrowd, FaZe, actually FaZe are just about moving, but CrowCrowd, the Knights, NIP, TSM, G2, none of them have moved one bit yet because they're all just back into their loot path. So they're all going to be coming in late on the circles, which may cause some buffer zones of everybody that's gone center, and then the outside, we're going to see some big teams on the outskirts looking to make plays. Down south, there's a team that could be making a play, and it's Na'Vi and GamerLegion. GamerLegion are pulling up almost on Na'Vi. Now, Na'Vi, of course, out of position, normally up in La Cabrera, but have been known to loot down south, so GamerLegion might be caught out by Na'Vi being there.
Crits in. It's an all, but it's in a very... awful position. Doozy will have to bail on this one and instantly just hits the deck. They're actually pushing this in vehicles. There's one to the right-hand side that he should be getting out of that, unless that was his vehicle and it's just rolled off the edge.
That was a cracking nade.
Actually, it was. That was his vehicle. That's now... He got out of it too fast, so it's rolled in the water. That's rather unfortunate. But yeah, the nade's actually connected. There is a response here, so 1-for-1 trade. Pawns on the chessboard going down simultaneously. Vex does at least get a decent bullet on him, though. There's potential for the res should they be able to hard push this one, but they don't know where the rest of Nabi is, so I think, yeah, he's dead, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, Hamster's here, though.
Is he using him for bait? Will he go and finish the kill? No, that's a flush.
We finish him back out, maybe. I don't know. That's another nice angle for Senya. Bjorn was going in to try and finish the kill onto a doozy, but Senya not allowing his teammates to fall. The captain doing what he can. And a very accomplished captain at that, Senya, leading Russia to the nation's trophy.
Or Uber, depends which way you look at it.
Yeah, but Senya's the shot caller, right? He's the one that everybody in that Russian team said we want Senya in this team. That was the man they all wanted.
It's a very strong team. They performed admirably. Individuals came together and worked as a unit. A damn good job. Really quickly, a couple of teams that were going to come this way but have been gifted their lives essentially by these shots going off. Razor Edge opted to go to the road that is above this. FaZe Clan I expect to also follow. With all these shots going off down south, you know that the road is busy. It's hot. You want to avoid it at all costs.
They're pushing to finish this. They're not going to back away from this fight. Ooh, Pokemon, those nade bounces. Just off the ridge, second one will go in. Pokemon holds, prevents anything going down. There's Senya's nade, cooked to perfection, straight in a hamster. Second one's going to finish him. That's actually gone down into Fex. Fex probably won't expect it.
Jesus.
And Senya says goodbye to all 4 members of GamerLegion. The captain leading the charge.
Same scenarios before. M47 finding Desperados in the open. They've lost one initially. All the rest of them are going to be split across the field. So the scout that was probably waiting to... Miraku. Are you okay, Matt?
Miraku?
He's fine. He made it to where he needs to be. Everything's fine.
I believe it's...
he might even ram this.
It's called Irish driving.
Damn.
Oh, gee.
It could have been Finnish driving as well then. Good lord.
Close one. Timmy's like, hang on a minute.
It blows my mind how, when you look towards Na'Vi, they come out on top of so many scenarios, even that one, with little to no damage.
Yeah.
They have all 4 players. They've just been in engagement. They've wiped a team from the face of the server, and all 4 of them are still alive. And they lost the initial opener. They lost the man down at the start. They step up, they get their comrade on the feet, and I can't contemplate their survivability. It's incredible. It kind of goes hand in hand with, oh my word. That is absolutely brutal. That is wild.
Well, it's not going to be the islands. That which we know, but Porto Paraíso is looking like a hot spot, a destination resort.
Good lord, that's a lot of water to play with and very little land. This is going to be messy.
So we've seen it finish a number of times just to the west of Porto Paraíso, but we'll see where this one pulls next, because that is a big yoink.
That could still go islands. It would have to be a hard shift. We're only in phase 2. There is no land ratio in phase 2.
Yeah, but it can't go to the little island because by the time we hit phase 4, there's not enough land ratio in there for phase 4.
If that hard shifts, if that hard shifts to the northeast, that will go islands.
Monkey down low. Monkey see, monkey do. No. Sadovnik takes him. Nearly needs a huge graphic as well.
That was a panic. Oh. I thought we were going to shoot him, and we saw it yesterday. We faced him and shot one of the teammates.
I mean, in fairness, that was coming out of the smoke, so it's just, yeah, a little miscommunication. But obviously, while this was a hard pull, it does make rotations a little tricky. FaZe Clan are dribbling along the beachhead at the moment. They're actually in danger of bumping into the backside of Na'Vi.
That was my worry in the previous circle. And now with this one, the hard shift becomes a reality that it might happen. And Na'Vi are split in a 1-1-1-1 scenario.
And Na'Vi can't push forward because you see Team Liquid here. They're at the gas station, which was a.
There's really nowhere
there
to
should
go
be
in
like
now.
a flag up there based on GLL Season 2, but some epic matches, battles that happen there.
The one team that might actually pay off from this to be able to survive it without any kind of damage is NIP, unless Michael's split from the rest of TSM completely. Gustav has gone down, and he had a mutant, which shows you kind of what they're playing with here. Rather unfortunately, may have been missing range. The mutant will work, but only to about 200 meters. You can two-tap someone in the face with a mutant. It can be good, but really, it's not at all for this scenario. It's not in the meta right now. It's an AR or a DMR sniper rifle if you are exceedingly good with it. So it kind of gives you some idea of maybe that TSM was struggling with loot at the start of this one to be playing with. You can make something work. You can make an AR work at range regardless. Stick a 6 times on it on single tap. It's, again, not what you want going into this, but it's better than absolutely nothing altogether.
Yeah, I know some of the players were talking about how they were struggling to find grenades. Obviously, it was, of course, it was NIP. Gaxi was saying, I'm used to, I couldn't get 5 grenades. I couldn't get 5 grenades. But yeah, I mean, it has been reduced, and rightly so, because yeah, that was all the fights. So now we're seeing teams pick and choose when they choose to go for the grenade plays.
But mollies and smokes have been increased, and we are seeing that as well.
We're
also seeing more flashbangs than we've ever seen before.
Yeah, which it brings a nice new tactical edge. I love it. I love it. But anyway, Porto Paraíso is kind of the center point, or more to the point, just north of it, where N47 are currently holed up. They've got all 4 players in their compound. Team Liquid still holding this fairly wide 2-2, considering Na'Vi and FaZe are just to the south of them. But northeast, now where do we go? Where do we go? Northeast. If it goes there, this is disaster. That's still a lot of water, you know. So where Yannis is right now is pretty much going to be roughly the center point of the next circle, because it has to pull away from this water somewhere. So it'll either go down the south or the north. Yannis will sort of have that covered. If G2 decide to spread in that area, they're in a good spot.
This is one of those circles where everything that you've ever thought of before, just throw it in the air. You have to make an aggressive stance here.
Oh, Team Liquid are going.
You have to go down. You have to battle for a land grab. There's going to be teams all over. This is a small amount of area. There's going to be many players in abundance. You have to be prepared to take every single fight as you pull up on this. Ibby has been damaged. You should be able to get inside. And Liquid, how on earth they've managed to take that uncontested is beyond me. That is one hell of a priority building for this circle. That is beautiful. You can get up on those rafters. You can look through those little letterbox windows. The elevation line of sight, they've just been gifted. And then off down, it's basically safe from behind because it's a vertical hill going up to it. That's a little mini castle on its own. That's a really good place for Liquid.
Just yoinked straight into it. I mean, they were at the gas station. That opens up Porto Paraíso itself for Na'Vi to just come up the beach road in towards the gas station sort of area. FaZe themselves have got a bit of work to do here. They did just get a couple of shots on these boys on your screen, CrowCrowd. They've just lost 2 players. So just NOOKIE and Tiikzu left for the Finns. They're going to have to go way around the edges. And NIP, they are way up north. They are inside the zone, though, so they're safe for now, but it is going to be a bit of a torrid time. You can see TSM were just ahead of them. N47, they've actually, team has decided to drop down low here. Back to his team. It's Vascu that's holding the off angle because they're getting pressured. It's Desperados that are creeping their way.
Just really quickly to update people on the other side of the map, actually this fight is what I want to speak about. TSM is going for a 2-2. They're putting 2 on the edge of the white, a little bit further up the hill to deny any point of entry. These 2 players now, Ira and I believe it's Rory, they are here to do one job, and that's keep the Knights away from this edge and keep their western side completely clear. The problem is that Michael is basically left on his own to deal with whatever happens with NIP. That compound now has been removed from them. It's gone. They need to make every single kill here count, remove the Knights, and they're safe from at least one angle. Then they can turn and face and try and deal with NIP.
Yeah, they've gone looking for the fight. I think the only thing that's slowing NIP down is G2 down on the hill. CrowCrowd, they've managed to blast into Porto Paraíso. We saw the bike gang doing their business. They've got past Na'Vi, and now they're home and dry. They're going to find themselves probably this 2-story on the left here, maybe. Generally is a good location. FaZe coming down the hill. They found Senya. That's a big play. Huber's been popping off yet in the last game. Senya's had 4 kills and counting in this game, so we'll see how this battle plays out. It's going to be up close and personal. I don't think mxey realizes there's one just to his right-hand side. I think it's Bestel's just creeping up the hill. No, it's Bokamoladoy.
Aitzy just took a bullet to the head as well, so he's down. And he can't watch that crossroad. He can't watch the angle and feed the information. mxey's now relying on the rest of his teammates to get the work done and to try and feed him this info. The smokes will go down, try and deny line of sight onto him. Aitzy and ubah, they're creeping forward slowly but surely. Fuzzface is there, and he'll get a clean run. And this all comes off the back of tabbing up Aitzy in the face. But being able to just knock him out for that amount of time has allowed basically all of FaZe Clan to get themselves back together. Yeah, that one shot by removing that scout who's watching the road. And now they're getting tanked in the back. Na'Vi, they've lost 1 player during this engagement. Honestly, I think they just call it a day and run Paraíso. There's nowhere else to go.
Well, the thing is for FaZe, they just use a lot of smokes, and they're going to have to use more because now the circle has moved as expected. It's almost centered up as best it could away from the water, obviously in towards the thing. So it does mean that Yannis and co, you know, the play that, as you mentioned, for Team Liquid, that was a massive play. Now we're going to see TSM and NIP. This is a battle for very much the slimmest sliver of the edge of the circle. Iro catches Vard off guard, though, as TSM look to retake their compound.
Flash is there. That should actually hit Miraku, I would have thought. Especially if he was looking the correct way. I'm seeing one player down. The Knights, we mentioned earlier on, they're having a difficult run. 2 knocks back to back. Further afield, though, this is the top side in the north. Down in the south, FaZe Clan opted to not push Puerto Pereza, and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But the problem is now they're going to run into 2 teams simultaneously back to back. Desperados and RayZREG are actually on the edge of the white, and FaZe Clan's pushing them.
SIMSY caught out, RayZREG engage on them, but they just realised there is a second party! FaZe Clan lighting up the kill feed. Fuzz has been dropped though. ubah goes for the peak, but he's down low. Aitzy's going to have to back away from this one as lynxzey does some damage. It's Calvin on the off angle, isn't it? Calvin up on the hillside. It's caused a lot of problems for them. Aitzy couldn't quite land it. ubah will get finished and knocked down. And suddenly Aitzy's going to have to go for the revives here. The blue is pushing. Look at Ultra start down low, going to creep on in there. Coldamenta's getting menox up as well in the distance, so it is not done yet. Meanwhile, there's also, keep your eyes on that bottom. It is playing out between TSM, NIP, and G2, who've moved in and gone aggressive on that fight with a 3-way battle.
Yeah, there's 2 3-ways going on. We'll try and keep a tabs on as much as possible. Actually, there might be a 4-way battle because I've just seen N47 on the map. They're pushing everything that's going on with FaZe Clan, RayZREG, Desperados. N47 have turned up to play. All the players outside are up against the blue. They could be in damage. This is the fight at the moment that's on your screen, which will be NIP. Trying to find TSM, the rest of them, once they've done with this. G2 will be there. ubah looks like he's collecting bodies. Desperados has gone down, but Aitzy has been responded by N47. Just trying to keep an eye on the map as much as humanly possible to give as much information here. He does stick the heal, and will he go for the res? No, he won't. He will try and bait it with the heal noise, but Rory's got other plans.
FaZe have got 3 down at the moment. You can see ubah, the last man standing, will get Coldamenta down, but lynxzey is still a thorn in their side, so he can't get any of the revives off. Now, does lynxzey have a singular nade? Because he would take them all out. Instead, he's going to have to smoke his exit. And will FaZe, you can see they're slowly bleeding out. lynxzey will finish off Fuzzface. And this is just going to have to be lining up for the revives.
So you didn't see it, but we did. N47 pushed all the way up against the white, literally to the doorstep. Shot them, grenaded them, picked up some kills, finished off an entire team, and then pulls back to a very primary compound.
That kill just saved FaZe. They just dealt with lynxzey. lynxzey was the only thing that was pushing FaZe. They're going to get all 3 back on their feet. Blue? They lost Fuzz, but they've got ubah, Aitzy, and mxey back up now. So that shot from N47 just bought FaZe some time. 3 back on their feet. The circle, it centers. It will move in. It gives Team Liquid's play once again. Works out so well for them. FaZe are going to have to push in towards N47 or go round to the north, where Digital Athletics right now are pushing on the backside of ENCE as they come around the side. Remember, CrowCrowd, they're down to 2. Now it's 1. Tiikzu left in the beach in Puerto Paraíso. And they're trying to get on towards the ridgeline, but there's not a lot to play with.
Let's have a quick look at the map then. Liquid, they're pretty much as central as it gets on this one. Na'Vi and the 1 player, Tiikzu, left from CrowCrowd. They all have to make their way up the hill towards them. N47 were gifted that compound. I say gifted. They were gifted it clean because they did so much work and so much damage to the teams on the Western Embankment. DA, they've been quite quiet so far this tournament, let alone this game. There is 1 player in the form of Scoom for Reciprocity up there on his own. This nade should get the job done. Is it down to about 10% health? A little bit too far. Ival in the kill feed finds mxey. Reciprocity is down. TSM, 2 players in the north. Same goes for ENCE. Excuse me, they're actually on 3. But they all have to come into the open arms of G2, have now set up residency in some little shacks in front of them.
Vascu's on the move. T-Bone's on the move. N47, they're going looking for kills again. This time it's FaZe Clan. Oh, Aitzy's trying to come out. The car, mxey's got no meds. The play zone's going to take him down. ubah's going to go to the play zone as well. And they will both fall. That nade, though, tossed out just before. Will it catch T-Bone off? No. It's bounced over his head. And it leaves Aitzy, the last man standing, for FaZe Clan to try and pull something out. The problem is he just drove straight past 7, who've got him eyed up, as have N47. Look at Ival. Ival is looking straight towards him.
So many players dropping to the blue here, and it kind of speaks volumes about this circle. It's been a rough one. Liquid is still on the roadside. Na'Vi,
how did this happen?
It looked to me, they just belted it across the road. Liquid's actually left, and they've gone looking for the last players and the remnants of what's left of CrowCrowd, which is Tiikzu. G2 on your screen, trying to find the last player of TSM. Ira out in the field, he's dead to right. SKUIJKE's been left behind for ENCE. Honest, I say left behind, really. What else could you do? TRYFFELI just decided to try and play the emergency backup. Aitzy's done the same. They're both sitting in shacks in the center of the map, praying the circle goes their way. N47 still over by the oil silos for now. There's actually a double drop near them. It could be good. It could pay off. One of them actually might be on top and safe of the oil silos, if I'm not mistaken. G2 have been fighting a hard battle up there. This is good from them. 4 players alive into this circle, and more importantly, a large proportion of the map all to themselves, apart from the 1 player in the form of Tiikzu.
To go north or south, it's going to affect some big teams. Team Liquid are retaking their compound. The compound stays in it. G2 are going to continue down from the south. They do have ENCE and DA near them, though. G2 quietly going about their business, by the way. 5 kills and counting, as they have to look towards the hillside where Edelweiss and co are. From 7. DA, these are kind of all caught in the firing line. N47 are taking shots, and all these players are on this hill as well. There's a lot of third parties going on between G2 and N47. Tiikzu's actually creeping up on G2 now. Oh, that's a Mark 14. That's in a good spot as well. But the problem is for N47, they have to move. Their compound's no longer in it, and they have to start moving down the hillside and looking towards the compound that they allowed Team Liquid to get in. Team Liquid themselves, look at this play. 3 by 3 by the numbers, working their way in towards Na'Vi. SIMSY, Jeems, and Ibby, are they going to get shots in the back? Yes, they are. BeSTLOJ sprays them down. 1, 2. Jeems and Ibby done and dusted. A doozy comes around and confirms the kills.
He's going to molly it. Last guy, it's a small building as well. That'll spread.
Oh, SIMSY's going to have to bail out of this one. The doozy knows that he went out the back. He's going to quickly chase him down. SIMSY's trying to get something off, but it's not going to happen, and Na'Vi will pick them apart. And Team Liquid allowed Na'Vi to come in the back door. They went looking for the 1 player from CrowCrowd and completely gave up position.
Left it unchecked. I could see the idea. Sweep and clear. Trying to look around for these houses, but still getting shot in the back like that and just not checking your backside, it's cost them dearly. Ival does put one of Na'Vi on his backside. They'll be able to get him back on the feet.
That's just empty. He's the last man, and Yannis has got him pinned. I think there's a slightest little angle through the window there. He can't quite see inside it. Oh, that doesn't matter. That's caught him. A belter.
The second one
That's
as well.
actually looking like a good nade from... That's not good enough. That's a good nade from onto CrZZ there. CrZZ had to reposition.
Last try.
That's the last one. Is he going to go off the tree? He's gone too far.
Come on, Chris. You've had 3 goals, fella.
Not got any more. James is just going to back away from it. Does Yannis catch him on the escape? No, because G2 have repositioned. They've gone for center circle point. They're going for the win.
2-2 again. 2 in the north, 2 center. Jempty is on his own. All the Na'Vi are here. They've only lost 1 so far this game, which is pretty damn good from them, and the kills keep on going. Ival with this Mark 14. Oh, SKS, 1-2, thank you. Edelweiss onto Braexco. Well, but that's a flick and a half to find that player leaning on the corner. Sadovnik just body blocks for now, so Edelweiss can get his health back. At the moment, he's just giving him cover because he can't get the res off there. He can't stick it at that angle.
BeSTLOJ confirms it. Right, circle goes in. It's on to G2. They've been slowly coming down from the north, picking names off. NELLOZ doing a great job of sweeping out. He's the sweeper at the back, keeping everybody at bay. There's quite a lot of little snakes remaining here. 9 teams, but I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with 5 teams, sorry, with solo players. So if you get knocked out now, you're not even going to get a placement point because of all these single individual players that are remaining. But you can see Na'Vi with a 3, N47 with the 3, and G2 with all 4 on their feet.
G2 are in the strongest position to win this at the moment. The only thing for them that could go wrong is that they pick too many fights because they're in such a pivotal position. Yes, there will be places to hide, but you have enemies 360 degrees at the gates. Pick your battles, pick your poison. Who do you want to take down first? NELLOZ looks to me on the map like he's got an eye on the prize when it comes to ENCE. SKUIJKE is just behind the tracks.
What a nade.
Did that go under?
Yeah, what a nade. Bounced it between the two the trailers.
And now is the info, so they'll push on this and make an advancement. They just need to make sure that there isn't fire from a distance. 1 snake's cleaned up. Edelweiss is gone. That's 7 out of the game. Yannis, confirmation onto SKUIJKE. TRYFFELI, last one for ENCE, just beyond Mitraleius, who's the last one for DA. So those 2 snakes could find one another in a shack over on the north.
Na'Vi, good cover fire there. You just saw N47 kind of had him dead to rights, but then instantly fire came from BeSTLOJ down low. So Doozy and Pukamuldo are moving in and taking the center point at the moment. looking for it. Aitzy's little shack's been found, but there's multiple teams around him. Braexco is going to finish off N47, and now they've got their eyes in it, but they're going to engage G2 and Na'Vi. Aitzy could benefit from this possibly, as they will go for it. It's going to back away from the fight, so don't worry, you're not missing anything. This is going to be Braexco dealing the damage on N47. Both teams disengaged. Na'Vi heading back down the hill. So now we still have 4 individual teams and 2 teams of 3. 4, actually, for G2 still. I thought they'd lost one.
They just have to be careful of Mitraleius on that northwest side, because he's still in. All right, so Na'Vi have got to work for the money here. The problem is that you have mxey and Tiikzu. The Finnish deployment just down there, 2 players from 2 different teams. If they decide to run that little gauntlet, they could be in trouble.
Aitzy's little shack's in there as well.
Both of them are. Look at it. The two on the west. That's problematic.
I wonder if Tiikzu could make it up to the one on the east side.
I think he fights mxey, in my opinion.
Yep.
They have to go, and they'll go around the same time. And when
but mxey won't know that he's there, because Tiikzu's not made a noise. mxey came in late, well, obviously while he was being shot at. Here's the sweep in play. You can see the hill that is separating both G2 and Na'Vi. That's what's allowing them to creep up. But for mxey and Tiikzu, just off the bottom of your screen, it is going to be an uphill battle. And I think Tiikzu's angle is probably the one that both were going to have to try and take to get up there. They're maybe just going to try and fight this one out, leave it to the very last second when the Blues on their back.
It's the snakes out of the problem. I don't see. I personally don't really see a doozy's dead.
Can he flush it? He's got it taken low. Yeah, he's going to flush it. Absolutely.
The helmet's finally been popped. That should be job done. BestLodge sees him with a grenade, seals the deal, removes that 1 point away from the other teams and gets FaZe off the server completely. Mitraleius still, by the way, has not moved. Could stab G2 in the back. I think he's playing for placement, and he's playing kind of scared. We mentioned about the Finns finding one another. mxey does cop for him. So Liquid, even though they did go down a little bit earlier on, they make it into the top 4. How much further can you really go with these 2 individuals? This, to me, the plumb center. It would have to be a catastrophic mistake, or for both of these snakes to hit at the right time for G2 to lose this.
Smokes are out from Na'Vi.
They're going to bomb it.
They're going to get caught in the back by Mitraleius, is what's going to happen. Look, he's just gone up on the top. He just had an angle on them. Yannis sees mxey down low. Mitraleius has been found, but he got NELLOZ knocked there. Now Pokemon and Co trying to move on it. They can't get up the hill. That's going to be mxey dealt with. Braexco very close, but he goes off, and G2 pick themselves up a big 14-kill win. Once again, 8 kills for Braexco. My word, we are seeing some big plays today. ubah with 9 in game 1, Braexco with 8 in game 2. Where do we go from here?
24-point game in game number 12 in the last Miramar match of this weekend. The roster that had a lot of questions coming into this is starting to prove it's worth its weight in gold. We all questioned it. We all said, what can these boys do? It was a huge change up for a team that looked good and looked solid and had been consistently performing extremely well. But you know what? That team change is paying off.
Na'Vi are going to be a little annoyed. They obviously got undone by Aitzy being in the shack. Obviously didn't quite expect to or get caught out by it. So once you lose a player in that position, it puts you instantly against the odds. DA tried to cause the upset as best they could. Mitraleius got himself 1 down in NELLOZ, but I don't think the kill was confirmed. So I'm not too sure whether they'll get the point for that in the end, but it was the 3rd place for them nonetheless. Team Liquid, of course, managed to snake their way into 4th as well. But some interesting battles. I mean, obviously for G2, their battle was all about TSM and IP at the top, and then ENCE as well, all happening in North. Down South, we had Na'Vi, FaZe Clan, DESPERADO's N47, all getting picked off pieces. I mean, obviously GamerLegion, they fell to Na'Vi first.
Ironically, it's kind of the same scenario we had yesterday, where we had on the map 2 compounds that were hit by 3 different teams.
Yeah. On
that one, we had NIP, G2, TSM. Knights didn't really play a part in that. They were just dying in the middle of it all. And then down south, you've got DESPERADO's N47 who mopped up. Great play, by the way. That's some really disciplined maneuver to be able to go out, sweep, clear, and then pull back rather than get overzealous and just go off and die.
It's something we don't often see from new teams as well. I say new teams, you know, new teams to the league. Often we'll see the more veteran experienced teams being the aggressors going out, and instead we'll see the rookie teams, as they'll be known as, staying basically in the compound, and then like, oh, let's not leave the compound until we actually 100% secure that we can win the fight and stuff like that. But yeah,
when you look at that and you look at Unity who came into Phase 2 and you compare it to N47, there is a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a team that almost qualified before multiple times, formerly known as ZUKTUKNAM, of course. Everyone knows the Zen tag that used to be out there for a long time. So they search for a name, but it is G2 that pick up themselves a win, and it's another big score posted by the boys. Let's hear from the Germans with Pala.